Hey there, everybody. This video is our Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 5 reaction. We have gone back to church. They're hoping for a miracle. This episode, I have mixed feelings about it because I loved the scene of everybody back at Calvary. I loved the emotion of it. I think we had so many good moments. I worry that we're not sort of progressing things fast enough, given that there are only a few episodes left after this.
Why you gotta talk about that? There
Well,
really is only just a few episodes left, and it's true. I mean, this was the start of this season was just like a race. Everything was crazy bonkers, and now the past two episodes have been a little bit more setting the stage for the second act. There was a lot of sort of smaller moves in this episode.
We'll get into all of it, including the return. I don't want to say unexpected because I think we all expected it at some point, of Rochelle back into things. Also, are we good with there being pretty much no Bob and Judy? It's like, I hate Bob and Judy, but I like to see them so I can explicitly hate them. They were kind of MIA for a lot of this.
They were, but they did mention that one moment with Phil and Judy having the wrecking ball coming up outside while everyone was leaving, and they're like taking selfies with their hard hats. They didn't even need to show it to me. I mean, I kind of wish I had seen that, but the imagination of it was so ridiculous.
I wanted the visual. Why can't I hate
goodness.
on the visual? But all right, before we get into anything here, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to have a preview coming up soon for everything that is coming through the rest, or at least next week's new episode.
All right, so let's start with sort of the house and this whole thing. So yeah, we know that it seems that they may be losing their house. So we have Lady Mae's gone over to talk to Tara, lay down the law, make it clear that the house is not going. She's returned being like, we got to hand over the house. I don't know what is going on, but everybody that seems to go over and talk to Tara, it's just all of a sudden it's like, and we're going to hand her over the house. So it was interesting, but not unexpected to see them go there to tell her that they're going to give her the house. Rochelle is there. I expected to see her, but the thing that kind of got my interest at the end of this scene more than anything else was seeing that maybe this is just my tinfoil hat theory at this point, okay? That she's over there calling over a car starts driving in. We don't see anybody get out of it. It could just be her friend, her driver, anybody. Who knows who this is, but could it be BASIE that's pulling up? Could it be?
If we're going to go down the crazy tinfoil road where BASIE is on the other side of it, I will prefer this to any other theory that is out there, just because I don't know if we could psychologically handle a final few episodes that had BASIE, Rochelle, and also Bob and Judy, but it would be fun.
I just thought it was an interesting choice to show that moment of her calling the car and the car coming around. It wasn't needed, so it had to be there for a reason. That's what I feel like. This show is very smart. Everything that's in there is in there for a reason. It wasn't just so that she could leave. They didn't need us to see that. We could have watched her walk down the stairs.
I'll say this. I didn't read as much into the car thing, but that's actually much more interesting than what I thought of, because I was sort of thinking while we were seeing Bishop and Lady Mae go up to the house, I was like, what if it opens and it's like the fake AJ sort of lookalike who we all presume is dead, and he's like randomly there? Because I want something more desperately to happen with that, because it feels like we've totally forgotten that story ever happened at this point.
Yeah,
it's just like, weird. Where were we going with that? Like, there has to be something to circle back here, right? Yeah, it would have made no real sense for him to be there, but I wanted something.
I was kind of wondering when they came up and I saw sort of the frosted glass, I was kind of wondering, I knew that someone like Rochelle was going to be there, but I was wondering if if she was just going to hide around the corner. I kind of wasn't expecting her to just walk out and be like, here we are, guys, we're all back together again.
I think it's such a power move. Like, I respect the move there's a part of me that thinks it would have been funnier if she just walked up behind them and said boo, but I like that she just is sort of just there and is like, now you guys have to deal with me. And I love, like, the stare she gives Bishop in that moment especially.
The thing that was strange about it, though, is that if they really wanted that house, because it doesn't feel at this point like it's only Tara that wants the house. She made that phone call. We don't know to who. I assume Rochelle, possibly BASIE if he's still alive. But having both of the Greenleaf show up there, I mean, Tara can read the room. She's getting the house. So, like, if Rochelle's going to show up, now there's going to be a fight. Now it's going to be dragged out. Now it's not going to be that easy anymore.
The thing is that we've learned apparently already that Tara is shockingly persuasive with a number of different things. Like, can we make Tara, if we're going to make Darius into, like, the head of a journalism enterprise, can we make Tara like a trade ambassador or something like that? But
I can't believe that she was able to sort of talk May into giving up this house. Like, it was pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible. I do get the sort of symbolism behind some of it, and it is like, okay, here's a chance to really start over. Granted, I also understand Bishop's fears over the implications, because he doesn't want to look like he's committed some sort of wrongdoing and that he has lost some sort of battle.
But at the same time, can't Bishop and Lady May turn the house into that as well? Why does Tara have to be the person that does that with the house? They have the opportunity to do that too. They're ready for a fresh start. They're getting ready to start their own sort of church and everything. Why can't they turn it into that? Tara doesn't need to be the person. They can be the people. So that for me was a little bit of a weaker plot point this week.
I'm still kind of a little bit muddled as to everyone's individual motivations with it. I do think that, you know, you want to get people talking. Ending the episode with Rochelle, great way to get people talking. You know, I have a lot of memories of Rochelle from this series run. So that part of it is interesting to me, and we have that mystery sort of lingering, and then you combine it with the other mystery as to, is anyone going to keep Phil's father on the phone for longer than just a few minutes?
That wasn't surprising. I was actually glad to see that he's continuing on where he's just like, nope, and I'm done and out, and he's hanging up on everybody. I'd like to actually see somebody go and talk to him. And at first I was kind of like, I thought it would be cool if it was just Grace, but now I'd actually like to see Grace and Charity take this on together. Their sisterly love has been broken for a while now. It would be kind of cool to see the two of them at the end of the series coming together for the same sort of purpose. I'd like to see them take that trip together to go talk to him.
I really think it's important now that you sort of bring it up, because I feel like Phil's dad is one of those sort of people who is like, you want something from me, you gotta show up, you gotta talk to me, you don't just give me a phone call, you gotta put forth the effort. I think he's someone who would appreciate that. Yes, there is also still a chance that he would get up and storm off after 3 minutes, but you gotta take the risk.
And it was, I actually would have liked to have heard more of that phone call, because we know that charity can be about charity.
Yes, we are all aware.
So having the beginning of that conversation where she's telling the story of what's going on, and by the end of it, when they cut to the end of it and we miss kind of all the middle, where he's like, okay, I've heard you, but you're not hearing me. I would have liked to have seen more of that, because that is something we know about Charity, that she doesn't always hear the other side of things, where he was kind of like, no, you're not hearing me, and just hung up. I was like, man, I would have liked to have heard more of that.
Yeah, I'm really kind of digging the Charity actually back on the same side as much of the Greenleaf family. Like, it's cool to see the team sort of banding together with a greater purpose in mind, and I think a little bit more of that could have done wonders within this episode. We still don't have any sort of answer as to whether or not there's going to be a way to take down the Bob and Judy operation. I don't even know how much progress we made in this episode.
Yeah, it feels like we really didn't make any.
Yeah.
However, my most favorite thing about this episode was all the stuff with Bishop. I mean, it was so cute. He's so cute. I mean, all the stuff that was going on with AJ and talking about the car and, it's all in pieces in this box and seeing AJ. I love seeing AJ smiling. So it was really cool to see them bonding. Him saying, quoting Sophia and being like, don't even. I'm like, he's just so cute. He just he reminds me of my own grandpa, who was a lot like that too, sort of trying to stay hip, but he just isn't that hip, so it was kind of cool.
This was a good... Keith David is a treasure. I think we've already explained that fully. But, the funny moments with Bishop were great. I loved him talking at the church at the end. I loved everything when they went back to Cavalry and were sort of talking about how...
It was good.
It wasn't necessarily a let's say goodbye to the church, but it was a rejuvenation. And it was sort of weird because I almost had a moment where I just sort of envisioned like everyone there and it was service and you could hear the singing and all that other... I think maybe it's just nostalgia. But it really put me in that place, and I was just like, you go get them, Greenleafs, you can do this, even though we haven't made a whole lot of progress this episode. I believe in you.
No, I thought it was just really, I don't know, it was just, I loved the idea that they were thanking the church, basically, thanking for their life, being thankful for having the opportunity to be part of this church, and that it wasn't just a goodbye, and I thought that was a really nice message. So we also have to talk about everything that's going on with Sophia, because these pictures are still a plot line that I was kind of hoping the show was going to drop.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that was going on with AJ, like, I love their relationship. Their relationship makes me miss my brothers tremendously. I haven't seen them in 4 years. They live up in Canada, but I love seeing sort of that sibling relationship between them developing and growing, and him becoming more part of the family and her opening up a bit more and becoming less sad after everything else that happened to her. But this plot with the pictures, it's gotta go. There are other things that they can be bonding over, like a lot of other things.
This just feels like a weird storyline that would be sort of on a 13 Reasons Why knockoff or something that's too high school drama, and I think Sophia's too good of a character to sort of just sideline her with this for 3 or 4 episodes. And, I understand that stuff like this totally does happen, and I would totally even understand it being a plot point for a week or two. But yeah, it would have been nice to sort of get to some other stuff, because, even Zora had some other things to do, including I'm finally being told now that some bad stuff is happening with Jacob and Carissa that everybody else has been much more aware of for pretty much forever.
And I love that she also called it out and was like, don't think that I don't know what was going on. Her saying, this should have happened a long time ago. I saw all the cold meals and you not coming home and everything that was going on. This, I'm not an idiot. I can see with my eyes. Just because you guys aren't saying it doesn't mean that I don't see it. So that was cool. I'm glad that they didn't make it be like, oh no, I had no idea this was happening. Zora's a really good character, so I liked that she, and she's really intuitive. So I also really liked that Carissa didn't necessarily come clean, but that she was like, listen, it's not all Jacob. I've had my missteps as well. We're both to blame. We both messed this up and threw mud all over our relationship, and this is where we are. There was a moment there that I saw Jacob not forgive, but kind of, it felt like a moment where he was maybe reconsidering. And I don't think he's going to, but it was just this moment where I think he just saw more of it, where he was like, man, yeah, we both did stuff.
It was one of the first times, I think, most of this season where Carissa and Jacob maybe they weren't on the same page, but I at least feel like they were in the same chapter. It's like they both understood the purpose of what they were doing. They just didn't quite realize that Zora became in this moment the physical manifestation of a lot of us Greenleaf fans who have basically been like, you two are not right for each other. There has been drama for a long time. Yeah. You need to find a way to chase your own happiness. But understandably, not thrilled about the situation in general, not thrilled about the timing of it. I get all of that, Zora. I understand. I hope that there's something for Jacob and Carissa both really over the next few episodes that's not just let's watch their relationship just fall apart further, because it already feels like we've hit the rock bottom for them.
So the last thing that we got to talk about, and I'm sorry, it's not about Darius. I feel like you know where we're going.
Why? Why is there no Darius, no Bob and Judy for me to yell at?
But for everyone out there that has been hoping that Grace and Noah are going to get back together again, they haven't, but there's definitely a little bit of footwork that's there. And it was really nice. I mean, we haven't had that much of a chance to really get to know Noah. Like, we did a little bit in the first season, and then he's kind of just disappeared all this time and then reappeared for like a couple episodes now. So it's hard for us. We love the Darius. It's hard for us to kind of get into Noah now, so close to the finish line. But that moment on the couch where he was just like, have a sleep, let me give you at least this. I was like, oh man, this is so cute. Come on.
It was nice. It was very nice. And the thing is that I'm not anti-Noah by any means. It's just I'm pro Darius because I've seen Darius for a long time. Maybe it's just also I love basketball and I love Rick Fox. Maybe that's a part of it. But Rick Fox, he's busy doing his, hypothetical Greenleaf spinoff in my head that I've been developing for the past few weeks. But it was nice to see sort of a caring side of Noah where I just want to know if Grace and Noah do somehow end up together at the end of all this. I want to know that she's in good hands. I want to know that she's with someone who's going to take care of her and love her and respect her. And I know they have certainly been through it time and time again. But if Noah is in that right position and he is showing that he can be a great person for her, who am I, some viewer at home ranting and raving on YouTube, to stand in the way of anything else? Like, we'll see where it goes.
Wow, you just fell off that Darius hill, man. You're just rolling away from it.
I am still
What happened to you?
I'm still on the hill. Don't get me wrong here. It's just I recognize that they just may straight up ignore me on the hill and go to another hill, and I'm just going to be shouting into the oblivion with no one listening. Like,
it's possible.
That is where I am with it, but I'm just saying I'm not trying to, while also on this hill, trying to like dig a deep hole and throw Noah into it. Like, I understand the appreciation for Noah that is out there, but I'm still pro Darius, and I can't change my mind now. I'm in too deep.
Yeah, I'm in too deep with Darius too. The show gave a lot of time to that relationship, so it's hard for me to all of a sudden switch gears in the last 3 episodes and be like, oh, now I'm Team Noah. Yeah, I have nothing against Noah, but there's been more development in the relationship with Darius, and I like that he's just stable. And I know that that doesn't always make for the most interesting TV, but at the same time, the Greenleafs have so much going on, and it's so crazy all the time that having someone like Darius on screen to sort of balance some of that out, I like it. I don't need everybody to be crazy all the time or have super drama all the time. It's nice to have a rock.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's probably nice for a lot of these characters to have like just a moment to breathe and actually sleep, because I don't know when any of these people sleep, and when they do, probably have just nightmares of Bob and Judy destroying everything. But all right, well, we'll conclude this reaction now. But what did you guys think about Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 5? Where do you think things are going? What hill are you on when it comes to Grace and who she should be with? Let us know everything in the comments. And if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support us more, check that link in the description to the store, and we'll see you guys here next time.